This is Jeff Davis with the Davis Group coming to you with another agent training. This one is agent training number 9, Keys to Tomorrow's Success, Prospecting. Now, when you go to get your real estate license, you are taught license law and you're taught the ways to obey the law as you are working in the real estate field. But the one thing that getting the license does not teach you is how to be successful as a realtor. And although it's not always viewed this way, the success at being a realtor actually boils down to one thing. Do you understand the sales process? Because the more you understand the sales process as you're dealing with people, the better the chances are that you will be successful in real estate. This is why people who come from different sales backgrounds and who decide to get into real estate can actually do very well because they understand the sales process and now they're looking at real estate. So we're going to look at the sales prospect, and one of the key components to the sales process is prospecting. What is prospecting? It is when you are going out and looking for new business. There are a variety of ways to do this, but you want to understand that, especially when you're first starting out, you're not going to have business. You have to go get it. And even after you've been doing this for a while, you'll realize business doesn't just come to you where you can sit up and every day leads come your way. That's not what it means to be a successful realtor. If you learn how to prospect and you learn how to prospect correctly, ultimately you will generate leads that will come to you on a regular basis. And then those leads, if they're happy with you, will send you referrals. So you prospect to get leads, and then you treat the leads right to get referrals. So to be successful, you have to develop a prospecting plan and you have to follow it closely. You have to be able to and be ready to reevaluate your activity so that you can minimize wasting time. So many people are engaged in activities that make them feel like they're busy, but the end result is they don't produce anything. That's what we call a waste of time. Now, as a team, we have to prospect collectively, daily. We have to move forward if we want to hit our goals, and the only way to do that, honestly, is to prospect for new business. You as an agent are going to be engaged in prospecting. As a company, an organization, a team, we have to engage in prospecting. And prospecting typically is going to cost you time, it's going to cost you money, it's going to cost you effort. Again, you can't sit back and expect people to just come to you to bring you the things you need to hit your goals, hit your budget, pursue your dreams, accomplish the things that you believe are possible for you. Now, again, what is prospecting? It is the practice of looking for new clients. In most sales jobs, the majority of your time will be spent prospecting, and real estate's no different. Here's the cycle, the dangerous cycle that people, not only in real estate, but in sales in general, get into, which can devastate your career. You start off prospecting hard, looking for clients, working at it every day, spending hours every day looking for it. And then finally, your results pay off and you start to get business. And now you're getting busy with contracts and deals, and you've got listings, you've got sales. What does the average unsuccessful sales agent do at that moment? They focus 100% of their time on the deals they have just gotten. And that is the biggest mistake you can make, because the deals that you've gotten came as a result of prospecting. So what do you think happens when you stop the prospecting? That deal flow stops. So what happens is an agent will have a couple of deals in the pipeline. They'll spend all their time working on it, and then those deals will close. Some may fall apart. Hopefully most will close. Now you've gotten paid, but guess what? They have to start over. And it may take months to get back to the place where you were, where you have contracts. And this is why a lot of agents have sporadic income. They'll have good months followed by months of bad months. And it is that sporadic income that forces most agents out of this business, because you can't live on sporadic income. You have to have consistent income. And in order to have consistent income, you have to do the things that produce income. And prospecting produces income. It is the indirect way to get leads, meaning you have to go out there and constantly be talking to new people. You have to constantly be putting yourself out there. You have to constantly be getting people to want you to do something for them. Because if you're not prospecting, your pipeline will dry up. And if it takes 4 months for you to get to the next deal, that might be enough to just take all of your savings and put you in a position where you have to get out of the business and do something else. So, you want to develop a base. You want to continually have a certain number of transactions you're working on. So even if you've got, let's say, 3 listings in your pipeline, you've got 3 listings under contract, you want to have 3 or 4 people that you're working on to get listings from. So that as you close the listings you have, you're replacing them with new listings. And don't let the number fool you. You could have 15 listings out there. You don't stop, you just continue, because you know eventually something's going to happen to those listings. They're either going to close or you're going to lose them. They're going to fall apart. And you have to constantly keep replacing them. As you grow more and more successful, as you begin to see things happen for you, don't stop prospecting. The only thing that should change is how much prospecting you do. In the beginning, when you don't have any business, you do a lot of prospecting. You might spend 80% of your time prospecting. But once you have business in your pipeline, you may have to cut that down because you don't have time to spend 80% of your time prospecting. You do have to work on these deals to close. But that doesn't mean you go to zero prospecting. You might drop it down to 40, 30, 20%. As long as you are continuing to prospect, that's what you want to do. And as your time frees up, you just prospect more. You want to create email blasts for your potential clients. You want to send your database pictures and comments on every listings that you get. You want to ask people, do you know somebody that wants to look at this property? You want to send emails again to recipients of the emails, and you want to keep these addresses safe. You want to tap into your referral base. I'm going to give you a sample prospecting plan here, and this is just taking you through a week, a typical week. Doesn't mean you do these activities every day. It doesn't mean you do these activities at all, but I want you to get an idea of what it means to start each week with the thought of prospecting. So Monday, you might look at ads for FSBOs. Everyone that you find, you send them an intro letter. You begin to start working on open houses for the listings that you have. You can choose to open or work on a social media account specifically for your real estate business. Now, for most of us, we have social media accounts for our friends and our family, but you also need to create social media accounts for your business. You want to attract other people in business, and you want to attract people that are out there looking for business to those sites. A lot of people, the majority of people are going to be on social media. So you have to have a very strong presence, and you use it as a way of prospecting. Once you set it up and you just keep it updated, then you can move on to doing other things, because the social media outlet you choose will be doing things for you while you're doing something else. So let's say that's Monday. Tuesday, you might look at the listings that your team has. You come in and you say, let me see how many listings are out here that I might be able to do something with. You can prepare to send out letters or postcards. Not necessarily letters, but maybe postcards or flyers to all the houses in the area around those listings. Now, a good agent is going to be doing that anyway, but I'm just giving you some ideas of what you can do if you find listings in areas that you think are good areas that buyers would be attracted to. You can put together some flyers and just put them around the house. So you might go, you got a house here, you go all the houses on the left and on the right, and you go across the street and you do the whole block. Now that might be 40, 50 flyers. It might take you an hour, hour and a half to get those passed out. But guess what you've done? You have prospected. On Wednesday, you might decide to create 100 names from your own center of influence. Now, personally, everybody teaches on. I don't believe my career should be based upon my center of influence. Because I know so many people that get into sales, and once they sell all their family and friends, they got to get out of sales because they don't understand how to prospect. So you want the people in your sphere of influence to know what you do, and you might reach out to all of them just to let them know what you do. But do not, I say this again, do not base your business on your friends and family buying from you, because no good business does that. Only telemarketing people, or people that are in those businesses where like multi-line, what do they call it, forget the term they use, where you get a whole bunch of people that you know to buy things from you. Multi-level marketing, that's the term. You don't want to build your business on that, because again, that's not sustainable. It happens so much in insurance, where you get a job, you get your license, you go working for an insurance company. They want you to make a list of all your friends. You go out with the manager, sell all your friends, and after that, you're done. You've sold and made a little bit of money, but you don't have anything left when that's gone. You want to be able to prospect to strangers, not family and friends, strangers. Let family and friends be your bonus. Let that be the gravy on top of the mashed potatoes, but don't make it the focus. You want to get phone numbers. You want to call people. Let them know that you're in real estate. And again, continue to promote yourself online. Now, another thing that you could do is create a geographic farm. Let's say there's an area in the city that you would like to have listings in. You've done your research, you've seen the prices. Let's say you go through and you start pulling up the solds, and you see this is a good area, good pricing. I like the way the houses are. And then you say, I'm going to create a geographic farm. We're going to talk a little bit more in detail in another one of the trainings about how to do that. But basically, what you do is you pick a certain number of houses, not houses, but blocks that you're going to work, and you learn what's going on in that community. You learn where the schools are. Where's the public transportation? Where's the shopping? Because these are all things people are going to want to know if they're looking at a house. You want to learn what types of houses. Are they brick? Are they frame? Do they have basements? What's the typical number of bedrooms? Typically, if you got a neighborhood that has 3 bedrooms, then you're not going to find a lot of 6 bedrooms or 1 bedroom houses there, because the houses typically are built along the same lines. So you want to know all these things. And when people ask you questions about this farm, you need to make sure you're the expert. You need to watch how many houses that have actually sold. You need to learn how many houses are actually on the market there. And when you have outlined this farm, and just for the sake of numbers, let's say we're talking 300 houses, then you do want to put together a flyer. You do want to walk the neighborhood. You want people to see you. You want them to know that you're there. You want them to become accustomed to seeing you in the neighborhood. Because once you start listing in that neighborhood, and that's the goal of the farm, then you'll be able to ask these same neighbors if they know somebody that wants to buy. So it gives you a presence in a place. And in real estate, that's very important. Now, Friday, you might decide to visit open houses. Again, you go to areas that you want to be in, and you go look at the open houses, visit the open houses, because you want to know what's the competition. You want to know what people are looking for. Sometimes you'll go to these open houses and see houses that have been redone from top to bottom. They're in great shape. Then you pay attention to the price. Other times you go in there and they haven't done anything to the house. And sadly, many of them want the same price as a newly renovated house. So you want to know these things. You want to know what's going on. You want to know, what are people looking for in the market today? What kind of houses are turning buyers on? What must sellers do to make sure that they are being viewed? And then you might get ready the next day, let's say Saturday, if possible, to do an open house. Now, there are two ways to do open houses. Number one, of course, you do an open house on your own listing. You put it together, and then we're going to have some teaching on how to be able to do that. You spend a couple of hours on a Saturday, you show the house to potential buyers, realizing that most buyers do not buy the houses they see in an open house, but it allows you to build your buyers list. And it allows you to become better at answering questions. It allows you to see what buyers are looking for when they're out there searching for properties. But the second way to do open houses is to go to people on the team that have properties for sale and ask them if you can hold an open house at their listing. Now, Your goal is to find a buyer for that open house. That's the goal. So you go there and you do it. It's not your listing, but it's a listing here. So we keep it in house. And you basically use it as an avenue to find new buyers. Now, these are just suggestions, again, of different things that you could do throughout the week to help you to prospect. But I want your mindset to be that you will be prospecting. And you've got to typically do more than one thing. Like, you can't spend 100% of your time on social media. You can't spend 100% of your time doing open houses. You have to have the variety and mix in the prospecting, because not all people go to all things. But if you develop this attitude and you continue in this path, you will find that soon you'll get to the place that just as you prospect on a weekly basis, you'll start meeting new potential clients on a weekly basis, which means you'll be writing new contracts, hopefully on a weekly basis. And then you will start to see income that is regular on a weekly basis, hopefully, but it'll be more than you could ever make at most jobs. Can you imagine what it's like to be in this business and closing a deal a week? Whether you're listing it or you're selling it, just one deal a week, you can turn your entire financial future around on one deal a week. So if you're prospecting regularly and giving yourself a chance to do that, the possibilities become endless. We want you to be great in real estate.